Hi there, my name is Mayan Shah with RVMax.us, and today I'm very proud to present a 2015 Winnebago Tour 42QD. This is quite a spectacular example of one. It's not absolutely perfect, and today we're going to get familiar with this coach and have a closer look at it. But it has around 18,000 miles. It was garage kept and well looked after as well loved, and you will see that going through the coach. So let's start up in the front. So Winnebago is probably one of the most renowned brands out there, if you're asking me. And getting parts will be no problem, but it's not just about that. They have built a name for themselves because they've built quality coaches over the years. There's a lot of nicely designed features, especially when compared to buses that you would compare this coach to or in its class, as people would say. But there's always some pro and con. The biggest thing on any coach, even the new ones, is the condition. So let's slide that face forward. And it's kind of cool. It has a mechanical release, and then there's an electric slide. And it reveals a clean 10,000 watt Onan quiet diesel generator. And this coach is equipped with the auto gen start system too. So if you want to set that up in the coach, you certainly can. It has about 461 hours. Over on the left, you've got windshield wiper fluid. Very nice. Check this out. That's one of the first times I've seen this. There is an air gauge right next to the air chuck here. So on top of having an air chuck, they were smart and added a valve to cut off pressure from coming out of here, just in case you get a leak on this little quick connector. But there's also a gauge. That's just really convenient, so you can see how much pressure is in your system before you use the compressed air. I really like that. So other than that, as far as condition goes, because the face of the bus is super clean, there is a small little flaw right there on the corner. But aside from that, we're really not going to find any other flaws. There, I think, is some like a handful of minor imperfections on the face. Maybe that little bit right there. But other than that, the face certainly reflects a coach that only has 18,000 miles. And this piece of glass, yes, it is in excellent shape, no cracks, no chips or anything like that. Crystal clear, it's been kept clean. It kind of seems like it was OCD about that, and that's I would appreciate that. But this glass is floating, so it doesn't have those old school uglier seals around it. So the whole window and just the surrounding pieces around the window, like around the bottom here and around the side, just looks that much more cleaner on the coach. It just gives it a better look. Now, I like the fact that this window here is tinted. It's crystal clear. You can see very clearly out of it, and it just gives you a much better perspective out of the front. The driving perspective is quite tasteful in the coach. So we do have side cameras, of course, and there is a huge infotainment center in this coach where all of your cameras can be displayed, and there's actually an auxiliary screen that you can have dedicated to your camera. So that's another thoughtful feature. You know, if you're messing with your radio or it has Bluetooth, you're on the phone or something with your main infotainment right by the steering wheel, you can still have a secondary screen displaying your cameras, and therefore either your side cameras or your pull behind or what's behind you. And that means also other people in the coach have more visibility to those cameras too, which can upgrade your safety points. Now this is the full wall slide, and it's it's a full wall slide. It's a power gear. It works perfectly. All of the awnings on the coach, including these window awnings here, there are 3 of them, and all of the slide out toppers are made by Carefree of Colorado. They all have aluminum shrouds, so when they're stored, of course, they're going to be protected from the elements. And around back, we have a Cummins 450 8.9 liter ISL, producing 1,250 foot-pound of torque, and it sends power to the rear wheels, the dualies, through the 3000 series Allison transmission, which is quite the bulletproof setup. Now this has a 15,000 pound towing capacity, which is quite fantastic. And up on the roof, we're going to tour the roof a little later, but up on the roof you'll find 3 roof ACs, ability to connect, to have Wi-Fi on board the coach as well as satellite, and we'll check out the condition of it later on. Now down the passenger side of this coach, we have 2 more slides and 2 massive patio awnings that both have LED strip lights on them. So you do have a massive amount of patio space, and a huge plus of the front main patio awning is it's actually mounted on the slide, so you don't lose that 3-4 feet you lose normally on an awning because it has to go over the slide out. Now the little pieces of chrome trim on the bottom of the coach are quite tasteful, especially with the way it levels off here in the back. Now the tag axle does have a dump, and it does have the auto dump as well. So anytime you put it in reverse, it will automatically dump your tag for you. Now this coach is equipped with the Lippert auto leveling system, so hydraulic jacks, and you can control your bags through that system. So right now the bags are dumped, and you can do that with a push of a button. At the entrance, we have a nice wide entrance door, and it's covered by a wide Carefree Colorado entrance awning. And this step is super wide and pretty substantial as well, and it's covered in chrome. So when this is up and flush, it's actually a lot less visible than your normal step. And before we move on from the patio space, this coach has a well-equipped outside entertainment bay with a convenient extension arm mount. All right, welcome inside. And my girlfriend Kaya absolutely loves this interior, and from the minute I saw it, I knew she would. And the floor plan feels more like a usable home on wheels, if that makes any sense. And growing up camping, we had a few, back when we kept personal coaches, when we had like a coach that me and my family would go camp in, we had a 2005 Itasca Horizon, which is a Winnebago product. And it had some similar idea things that I'll mention as we go through it. But we're gonna start here in this living space, which is quite large. So we have sort of a squared off living space. We've got a nice recliner over here. There are two leather footrests that also serve as storage containers in addition, and they're sort of in a storage position right now. And you'll see why here in a minute as we demonstrate this fantastic L couch. But this, as mentioned, will recline. I like the wood paneling back there. So there's a good usage of wood, and one of those things that Kaya noted, and it makes sense to me too, so they only have a dash of this kind of crazy looking material, right? So a lot of RVs have like floral or something going on, right? So they only splash this on these chairs for the dining area, and the fabric around the windows, which is typically matched with this material, is instead matched with the black leather. And I think it just looks classy. It's not in your face, and it just looks a little more elegant than having like a design. But that's my 2 cents, and Kaya's really, so it's my 1 cent. So over here we have a nice fireplace, and as you can see, this will fold out, put a little lamp on it. But the fireplace will actually put out heat if you want it to. Right now it's in display mode, so if you just want to rely on your aqua hot furnace or your roof heat pumps, for heat, you can just leave that as decorative, but that will provide you heat with a thermostat. Now we have a large LG TV right here and a huge amount of storage up above. And what's super cool about this is there is a hidden beverage center right next to the safe. So assuming you're going to be you can keep some nice bottles there or whatever you'd like. It can be an additional pantry if you'd like. And then there's a safe there. Nice hidden spot. You wouldn't guess back there. There's a nice latch for it too. So there's storage, hidden mounts of storage. Up in the front, we've got a nice little cap. So I love the fact that this is a coach with no TV up here. So you have a lot more headroom when you walk around, right? So I have a much more usable path here. Even with these chairs sort of in the way they are, they're more obstructive than they would be if they were in the driving positions. There's still a good amount of room to walk around up here. Another nice thing I noticed is there are 2 direct vents from the ducted roof AC units that will give your cockpit a more direct flow of cold air, because even with cold working dash AC, it's not enough when it gets really hot. So it's nice to see that they've thought of that and dedicated some vents to give you more cooling space up here. Another thing I love about this cockpit is the fact that that driver window is so big. By the way, crystal clear, no fogging in the windows, but it's so big that it gives you this epic view in addition to that huge panoramic window. Now, as we go through here, you'll see some accent lights up there. A cool feature to note is these are both sort of massage chairs, so they're heated, and they also have these pulsing massagers that will vibrate through the seat in various types of ways. And there's also power outlets all up throughout the cockpit too, which is nice on the road to keep your phone charged or whatever device you have nearby. Now here we have this fantastic couch, this L couch. So typically, we actually have two other coaches on the lot with the L-shaped couch. Typically, they have a air mattress fold out. Not on this coach. Instead, we have these beautiful recliners. So my girlfriend absolutely fell in love with this. Instead of having your typical kick-out recliner, the actual couch will change and morph into a recliner, and it's just extremely comfortable. We'll get lost in that just massive and wide individual recliner. You've got two of them. So this is also a push button. So when you're sitting there, there's a cup holder, there's two cup holders back there, and there's the buttons to operate that. One of the features that I am reminded of from our 2005 Itasca Horizon is this. And they've made it a lot sleeker, and this is newer, and ours was, had to be a little delicate with it. And we didn't have these beautiful little pieces right here that make it all look seamless. So that comes up, and there you go. You have an additional sleeping arrangement right there. So you can sleep a little extra on this L couch here. As we come into the kitchen space, this kitchen space will just engulf you, and you have this huge or very long extension right here, which contributes to making you kind of feel surrounded like you would in more of a home style kitchen. And I quite like that, especially when you're standing right here. I mean, I've got pretty long arms and I can't even reach to the end of that. So true induction stove here. So not only is that more efficient, but it puts less ambient heat out into the atmosphere of the coach, which requires less air conditioning power. We've got a Whirlpool convection microwave oven, a dual stainless steel sink here, along with a filtered water tap, and a beautiful backsplash, of course, that matches the rest of the little inlays in the tile. And I absolutely love this second tier, along with the drawers that accompany that second tier, because you can put all your spices. That'd be a perfect place for all your spices and things like that. This is kind of random, but just this little outcropping of wood, it just gives it a cool look. And there are accent lights, so down below there's accent lights right below that Fisher and Paykel dishwasher and a drawer, but there are also accent lights up on the ceiling as well. So in here we have our half bath. Again, backsplash, pretty big counter. We've got a gorgeous piece of woodwork up on the top that holds a bunch of LED lights that just blow it up in here. There's an individual heat exchanger just for this bathroom, as well as a fan that does not require any lifting or anything. All it requires to be turned on is just one click of the button, turns the fan on. There's no huge, fantastic fan to lift open. And honestly, this is a much more practical setup. But this is a Tecma push button porcelain toilet. So this is a large, nice toilet, not your cheap toilet. Sometimes you see that on coaches. Even some of these 42-foot competitors of this coach, they'll put like a cheaper toilet up in the half bath. It's just not as comfortable. But yeah, there's power outlets and everything. So that's a fully equipped medicine cabinet space, all that, fully equipped half bath there. And right here, we have our residential refrigerator. This thing is huge. It's very clean as well. This is a Whirlpool refrigerator. Carpet has been professionally cleaned. And the dining space is quite nice. We've got fold-out chairs, and this will extend. This will extend like this, and there's an additional leaf, so you can seat 4 people very comfortably here. And while we have this out, you'll see that there's additional outlets, 12-volt car. We've got 120 outlets right there as well. So this will lock into place. Now, all of these windows over here, you can take this and pop out one of those frameless windows to give you a beautiful little vent going on, especially with that fantastic fan. You can suck that nice draft or ocean air through the coach or mountain air through the coach. And while we're around the windows here again, it's good to note that these windows are all equipped with MCD shades, and they're the best type. They're manuals. And the MCD brand is just a high quality brand when it comes to these shades. They are a nice complement to this interior and those windows. There's a central vacuum here, so not only can you broom it into that little duct right there, you know, if you want to broom it there, you can attach the attachments, and there's a hose that will reach from front to back of the coach. You can keep the coach vacuumed up with ease. Trust me, having a central vac is so nice compared to dealing with an actual vacuum cleaner. Now here in the bedroom space, again, quite expansive, and I love the fact that we have a carpet because it just feels roomy. There's something about carpet that's so inviting in a bedroom, especially when you have a huge king walk-around bed. You know, you just have a comfort, a sense of comfort when you've got that squishy, soft feeling under your toes. And obviously it has to be clean, and this carpet is pretty clean. Now, on the other side of that king bed, we've got a massive amount of wardrobe space with LED lighting. And, you know, these wardrobes can become slap full. And guess what? And we have drawers down below here on both sides. So the other side is the exact same. Another huge wardrobe. This wardrobe is a touch smaller. You don't have that extra little outcropping, but it's still nonetheless a large wardrobe. LG TV back here. And, you know, the bedroom space was not forgotten. There's a good bit of space here. Sometimes coaches will really squeeze this wall for some reason, and not on here, or not on this coach. And of course, it really helps that this bed is an electric bed and becomes more folded up that way. You know, it just gives you so much more space in the bedroom. Now here in the master bathroom, we go back to a tile. Again, we've got a Tecma push button toilet. I love the wood paneling around there. It just gives a nice feeling. And this is a pretty large window. You know, you've got a great view out that window. And I, for one, like that. You know, if you want, you can do that for a little more privacy. You still have a lot of natural light coming in here, which is uplifting when you're in the bathroom. You know, large sink here, a lot of space around the sink. They also gave you a ton of space back behind this medicine cabinet. And I love this. They just did 4 bright LEDs right there as a vanity light. And check this out. So it looks like a regular compartment, and it's not. It's an expansive little shelf right there. So a good bit of space. And I love the fact that the water pump button is right there. So if you jump in the shower and you're like, oh no, you know, you're in some parking lot or you're dry camping out in somewhere out in some national land, you know, if you're not plugged into city pressure, and you're using your pump to take a shower, and you jump in and you're like, oh no, I don't have my pump on. It's okay, do not fret. It's right there. You reach out from your big shower. So let me step in here, we'll give it a comparison. You know, pretty sizable. We've got a built-in waterproof light right here, right above the shower head. And I'm feeling pretty comfortable. We've got a tempered glass here. So this is tempered glass, not like a plexiglass. So it looks nice, and I have to appreciate this brushed stainless steel. But I'm about 5'11", and you can see how much space I have above my head, maybe about a foot. I don't know, I'm estimating here. You probably have a better eye down there from your perspective. But yeah, this is a pretty decent sized space. You know, I would be more than happy showering here at my size, and even if I was bigger too, much bigger, I would be, you know, if I was up here on my tippy toes. Hey, look, now I'm crossing that 6 feet. Woohoo! Yeah, the glass looks good with that brushed stainless steel. Classy, nothing in your face. Yeah, a lot of space down here. Oh, glad reminded me pointing this out. We've got a washer dryer stack. They hid that in here. So even though this is a pretty spacious master bath, especially for a 42-footer, considering all the space we have up in the front of the coach, I mean in the bedroom and all that, still have that washer dryer stack in a very good spot, hidden well. By the way, heat exchanger right there, so you can have this bathroom perfectly heated when it's cold out. They just, you know, they pack this coach with a ton of storage. And they'll vent out. This is an emergency escape window. I like this door handle. I quite like this door handle. Like, that's a household door handle. It's really easy to operate, and it's just simple. It's straightforward. It's one of the best handles. It's just, it's comforting, and it's easy to use. It's not like one of those little ones where you get your hands all pinched in it or your nails all pinched in it. By the way, isn't this cool? It's like a huge barn door, almost. I think that's probably not the right definition, but it's beautiful. And you'll notice a little Velcro. You can take this off if you want, but there's like a blackout thing. There's a mat in there. You might have seen it from earlier. Yeah, I quite like that. It's simple, straightforward. You know, the ones that have like multiple pieces are sometimes a little finicky to use. But oh, by the way, before we move on from the bedroom and stuff, this bed is it's an ideal rest, so you can change the firmness of each side, kind of like a sleep number. All right. Oh, wow. How could I forget about this? Dang, I'm doing things out of order today. So beautiful wood, little pantry, and I like that. So look, behind there, we just have these deep drawers. And let's be honest, right? This is a lot more useful than having a regular pantry. Those pantries get thrown around. You know, you want something like this where you can, you know, it's not going anywhere. And this is well-made woodwork. You know, this is pretty good stuff. So yeah, nice and unique setup. Adjustable shelf right here. And you do have a little bit of pantry space for some cans. I mean, you know, unless you're, those pantries, again, I think this is much more useful than your standard pantry, but let me know what you think. More drawers down below, all that good stuff. And, you know, there's a lot more storage and stuff I didn't cover, you know, like up above there. And I mean, look, to be fair, it's deep storage, but I think that this coach, first of all, the condition is superb, right? 18,000 miles, this interior is barely used. It's not absolutely perfect. It's not a 2022. However, it is superb in here. Colors on point. I think the floor plan is what really takes it to the next level. In addition to that, you know, it's not night and day, I will say, between competitors, but Winnebago is just, they have the name for me. I've been around enough Winnebagos and camped and grown up camping in Itasca, which is a Winnebago product. And I have to say, they do know what they're doing, and they make a good product at the end of the day. This coach will not last long, I don't think, and whoever's going to get it is getting a fantastic bus. This is absolutely a stunning coach. With that, let's go take a peek at that cockpit, and then we're going to go get it out on the road, which is, I'm very curious about with that lowered rail, supposed to have a lower center of gravity and all that good stuff, so I'm going to feel that out for myself. Let's go. So the cockpit is in absolutely fantastic condition. So as you go through it, it'll be pretty much like looking at a brand new Tour from the factory. I mean, the seat looks fantastic. We've got a great smart wheel here. And what I like about this smart wheel is in between there, we've got controls for the radio. So normally you don't see that on the smart wheel. Now over on the right, we've got a 10.4-inch touchscreen infotainment center. We've got Rand McNally built into it. All our cameras will come up on this screen. You can turn it on when you're parked as well. And what I really like is not only, of course, does everything come through here, radio, camera, it's really easy to operate. You hit that menu button, the buttons are big and rubberized, and they light up well at night. And this is not an older person thing to worry about, okay? This is something that I appreciate as well, because when you're driving, you want it to be simple and you want it to be easy to use. And what I really like as a driver is having the additional screen. So I don't think it'll come on even when the coach is off, so that's nice. So it's emitting a little noise here with the coach off, so I'm going to turn it off just in case. But that is really nice to have as a secondary screen. If you're using your big screen for directions or something else, you've got an extra screen to show what's going on your side cameras and rear camera on your towable. And also, your co-pilot or someone else in the bus can be keeping a better eye as well. So just well thought out. I quite enjoy the cockpit view on this coach. The cockpit it's more of a minimalist idea. There's not anything crazy going on. It's about the visibility out the coach, and it looks clean, it looks simple, and it looks fantastic. I especially like this over here on the driver area. I mean, look at that beautiful, huge driver window. I mean, that's an expansive window for a coach. And I quite like the feeling that gives you and the amazing visibility. And both of these windows kind of progressively get a little darker towards the top. And this one is tinted as well. So that tinting is just, you need that tinting, and that allows these windows to be absolutely gorgeous. Now over on the left, we've got our Allison 6-speed transmission control. We've got our LCI electronic leveling system where we can dump the airbags, raise the airbags, we can level the coach with our hydraulic jacks and all that good stuff. We've also got mirror heat, day and night shade controls, and you know, they're electric in the front. We've got a tag dump so you can manually dump it, or you can put it in auto mode, or of course turn it off so it doesn't dump at all. We've got a 2-stage exhaust brake there, nice little cup holder. The pedals are adjustable. There's a battery boost. Dock lights are fantastic. Yeah, the cockpit is quite well laid out. You know, you can lock your entry door from here, which is nice. You've got auxiliary defrost fans, typical setup there. That one key, so we use that same key for everything on this coach, which I love. And yeah, the cockpit, like I said, well laid out and still classic Winnebago. Look at that jacks down. Classic, right? And guess what? It's fundamentally usable. It's an RV, and you have hydraulic jacks. You don't want them staying on the thing. It's just, Winnebago definitely understands what an RV and what a bus should be, and I think they do an excellent job here. So this is one fantastic driving coach. 2 minutes down the road after getting into the driver's seat, I could feel it and sense it, and I became ecstatic because the front end was sensitive. And on top of that, that center of gravity being so low in this coach compared to most other raised rail chassis coaches, this being a lowered rail chassis, definitely has some weight, because whatever they've done makes this coach feel so planted. Definitely has some weight, because whatever they've done makes this coach feel so planted. The amount of sway is noticeably less, and my socks were absolutely blown off my feet. The way this chassis feels is top notch. This is one incredible chassis. Definitely a lot more than I was expecting. And I think the Freightliner XCR chassis are pretty good, but this, I'm sorry, this is next level from the XCR chassis. Wow, it feels so good. Side cameras on that massive screen are fantastic. And let me go ahead and turn that second camera on there so you can see. So right now that second camera, as you can see, is currently residing on the camera system. Switch, and I can verify there. I have a great view with my dual mirrors. The noise in here is quiet, and it's so easy to keep this coach centered. That is, and most people who have driven RVs know, what you want out of a coach is something that will stay in the center, something that will track, something that is easy to drive and won't wander out of the lane too much, because that seems to be the tendency with most RVs. So when I'm talking about a coach that drives excellently, I try to include more in-depth things such as, you know, the low center of gravity and how the coach feels dynamically when it's handling weight changes, and when you go around curves and throw weight on each side, and how it handles that, and how the steering column and how it feels to steer the coach and control the coach on the road. I tend to prefer coaches like this that have a center line that's more sensitive. It's really easy for that reason and many more, including this Magnum chassis, that allow this coach to feel so good and calm on the highway. Right now I'm being passed by a semi and I don't feel it at all. I'm probably too close to this car. I'm definitely too close to this car in front of me, so I'm gonna let off here a little bit. The coach feels fantastic. I am more than thrilled to drive this bus. I absolutely love how this drives. The side cameras are nice. You know, that's a standard setup. I love having 2 screens for the side cameras. I also like the fact that we have one button to quickly get us to the camera. So if you're doing something else and you real quick want to look at your cameras while you're driving, you click one button, takes you straight to your camera system. Wow. But I try to include metrics, and to continue on my point from before, I try to include metrics that most people understand. And most people understand that you want a coach that can be more calm. And look at that, the brakes are, and as you can see, when you're coming through these tight parking lots, like right now we're going through QT, having these side cameras really allows you extremely nice visibility. So starting with the passenger side storage bays, you'll notice that they're all carpeted and the carpeting is extremely clean. This first bay here has a 2800 watt Magnum inverter up on the top, and on the bottom left we have our Dirt Devil central vacuum system, as well as power outlets and of course its own lighting in here, and extra Dirt Devil bags. We also have access to plugging into the central vac here. So if you want to vacuum your car or whatever that's outside, or just the bays in general, you can easily plug into that vacuum. So it sort of provides you a vacuum that you can use for pretty much everything in the coach. Now to the left of this first bay, we have our first massive pass-through storage compartment. And as you can see, we have this uniquely large mouth. So instead of just having a compartment large enough for the slide tray to come out, we have a little extra space on the side, as well as storage space underneath. It's quite impressive how much storage space this coach really has underneath. And on top of that, we have a built-in ladder, so you can quickly and easily get that out of the coach. And it comes from the factory, so it's a great mount. And even though there's a rear ladder, you can use this to easily get to anything else on the coach, on the sides perhaps. Now there's also some extra fold-out chairs down on the bottom here, and this bay in general is super clean. Now the next bay over, we have our drain valves for the low point drains, as well as a water tank drain. And again, we have another small storage compartment here that actually has a little more depth than the one we just covered. You can see our black and gray tanks up above there, and still a little bit of depth there, so if you want to get something skinny and long, you can fit it in there. Now the tires all have date codes of 2020, and they were installed in 2021. So they are fresh Yokohama tires, not originals. We have a nice storage compartment back here that you can use for your tools. We also have an extra extension for the rear ladder and extra parts, including wipers and things such as that. So of course the coach has dual fill for the fuel tank, and skipping the first compartment where there's a small amount of storage and access to the push button for our front gen slide, we have a good amount of storage on the driver's side of this coach, starting with this first small carpeted bay, which is then followed by access to our main pass-through storage compartment. And on the left there, you'll notice extra tiles. There are a bunch of extra goodies that come with the coach. It was a well-loved coach. You have, you can see the other side of our ladder there, and this uniquely large pass-through storage compartment is just fantastic. And again, this slide tray will come out on this side as well, giving you excellent access to whatever you choose to store on top of it, and being able to put it on there with ease. Now in the next bay over, we have part of our utilities bay. This is where you can check the boiler fluid for your AquaHot system, as well as check the AquaHot control panel itself. All the bays are thermostatically heated, so you have a thermostat there on the bottom left where you can control the temperature of the bays. There's a cord reel switch, so you've got an electric 50 amp power reel, as well as easy access to plugging into cable. And here we have the controller panel for our solar panel, which is up on top of the roof. And I believe it also gives power to some lights on the exterior of the coach via solar power. I could be wrong about that. Now in the next bay over, this coach is pretty unique, and we have two utility bays. We have the rest and all of our plumbing. So it's kind of nice actually that our power and cable is kind of separate from the rest of the plumbing and where water stuff will be going on. That being said, this setup in here is quite fantastic, as you can check your levels on your tanks. You've got paper towel holder right there, soap dispenser. You can dump your tanks quite easily. We've got water pump access. You can flush your tank. We've got a water hose on an electric reel, so you pull it out manually and you push a button to reel it back in. You've also got easy access to your filter there. And all together, this is a very well laid out and spacious utility setup. Not crowded at all. That's key. Now in the very rear here, we have our DEF fluid tank, as well as an electric breaker panel.
and our chassis side batteries and electronics.
So this has a one-piece fiberglass roof and it is crowned. There are 3 roof air conditioners. Now the rear AC unit is in good shape. This is 2 of these 3 roof AC units are heat pumps. So these front 2 right here, you can use as heat pumps and reverse the cycle and put heat into the coach. And of course, when it gets below freezing, you'll have to fire up your aqua hot furnace system, which can operate in pretty much any temperature you put it in. And that will also give you unlimited hot water. Now, one-piece crown roofs are, I think, one of the simplest and best ways to attack having a roof. Instead of having a flat roof with drains, I would much rather have a crowned roof and just get that water off instead of having to rely on drains that can potentially get clogged. Got a digital antenna right there. That is a nice cover for an exhaust fan in the kitchen area. And this will allow you to use that exhaust fan if it's raining or if you're going down the road. So the roof is in excellent condition. I mean, one-piece fiberglass, there's not much to do. And the front cap is in excellent shape. So it does have XM radio. You can see the antenna right there for the XM. There's maybe just a touch of clear right there on the paint, but it's really common on all of these coaches, even the ones that are garage kept, and this is a garage kept coach. But other than that, the cap is in excellent shape. Seals look very nice, sticky. We have a WindGuard Go, so this can provide you with Wi-Fi, and then you have a satellite dome right here in motion. Now check out the skylight in the back. I quite like the skylight. And the seals are in excellent shape. It's really good to see and look at seals around skylights and things like that, things of that nature. I believe that's another exhaust right there. Yep, that's another exhaust fan. Built in, no need for extra operation, just a simple, I think a better idea for having exhaust fans in the bathroom spaces. Now for the big draw of air, if you want a big draft coming through the coach, there's still, as I mentioned, a fantastic fan in the middle of the coach. Rear cap looks good and the roof is in excellent shape.
That's going to be it for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is an absolutely stunning 2015 Winnebago Tour 42QD. My name is Mayan Shah with RVMax.us, and I've thoroughly enjoyed presenting this coach. If you have any further questions about this bus or would be interested in purchasing it, please feel free to reach out to 864-376-5600. That is my cell phone number, and I look forward to hearing back from you. If not, thank you so much for watching, and I appreciate your support, and I hope that you continue to watch on. Please like and subscribe, as it really helps us out. Again, thank you so much. Have a great day.